David Lovejoy with KGNC News Radio. We're starting a new format for our news update. We want to concentrate on one story, devote all our energy to it, and get the information out to people. So here's your KGNC News Update. David Lovejoy with KGNC News Radio. Today I'm joined by Amarillo firefighters, Captain Kyle Joy and Mr. Jeff Justice, and we're here to address a problem that has been cropping up. Last year, in 2018, there were over 20 fires caused by transient or homeless people going into abandoned buildings and setting up shop and staying there. Now, since April, we've had a rash of those fires in our city, 11 total, and we're going to talk to the guys who have to put their lives on the line to try to battle these things. Captain, tell us a little bit about this fire in this church that we're sitting in.
So this is a structure fire that our guys responded to. When we respond to these types of buildings, we might assume that they're abandoned, and that dictates the way that our strategy in fighting those fires. Of course, we're going to risk our lives to save a life, and when we find evidence of people living inside, or we have reports of people that might be inside, then we're going to send our guys in to fight these fires, and it's a danger for us.
Yeah. Now, Jeff, tell us a little bit about, during the wintertime, you expect these. People are warming, trying to stay warm, get out of the elements. We've had a rash of them during the summer hot months. How can we explain that?
Well, they're trying to get out of the heat. For one thing, so they come in here to cool off and stay out of the sun, but then they start cooking, and there is the cause of a lot of the fires right there.
Now, we're sitting in this abandoned church as Tyler pans around and takes a look at some of the damage here. We're going to go back here in the rear and look where this fire originated at. And we're going to talk about some ways that if in your neighborhood, this is right next to a residential area. Children, seniors, the whole 9 yards. If one of these fires breaks out at night, it could spell disaster for a community. So we're going to take a walk back here, take a look back here at the origin of this fire.
What's your step? What's your step?
Tyler, watch your step right here. We'll go a long way.
Even this is so small.
Yeah.
So this is a good example of if our guys, when we come into these fires, this room is completely filled with smoke.
Yeah.
You can see the smoke line along the wall.
Right.
So our guys can't see what's going on. So a big hole in this stage, I mean, that's a place that our guys could seriously get hurt. And so these are the types of dangers that we're presented with. And you can see up there the roof collapsing.
Yes.
Another thing that poses a danger to our firefighters. And not just to our firefighters, but to anybody that was inside of here setting up shop.
And like you said earlier, Captain, that's the difference in how you approach a scene when you get here. If you're under the assumption that this is an abandoned building, you're maybe not too aggressive. You may be likely to let it burn out. But if there's any human life in this, you guys make entry.
That's right.
Yep.
And exactly what you just said. If we believe
Right
that
across the street is a house.
that this structure is going to be a loss, our main focus becomes on protecting those structures. So you can see a house right across the street, businesses right next door. So we don't want this fire to spread to any of those structures. And so yeah.
This is amazing. You can see the destruction. Imagine doing this at midnight. There's no electricity in this building, no lights. Midnight on an overcast night is they're walking into pitch black with the smoke, and this is pretty substantial damage. As we look up through here, you can see the ceiling about to collapse, and you can tell if this fire rages 15 minutes more, this building is coming down on top of it.
Absolutely, and this is a structure that we would say is just completely unsafe now. And when we arrived here, like you can see, it's wide open. So there's evidence of people still living inside of these burned down structures, which presents an entire new set of problems when we arrive on scene, because these structures are already deteriorated because of the fire. And now we're sending our guys right back into a more dangerous situation to make sure that everybody is brought out safely.
Unstable. Now, Jeff, can you tell us if you have a property that's maybe abandoned or something in your neighborhood, what are some of the things you can do? as you see transients or people in and out of that?
First thing I would do is contact the authorities instead of trying to take matters into your own hands. You never know what you're going to get yourself into. It could be very dangerous. So, but maybe try to contact the owner of the home if it is a home that you own. If it's rental property, board it up, secure it the best you can. But you got to stay vigilant. You got to stay watchful over those properties. So.
Yeah, you just can't
get the neighbors involved. Get the
Yeah.
whole neighborhood involved
Yeah.
if you can.
If you see someone, if you see traffic, particularly at sunup or sundown, people moving in and out of a
Yeah, you
property.
see any unusual activity, you know what's going on.
Yeah, you know what. And not only you say, okay, well, they're just staying out of the heat. These places are also used for narcotics and
Yeah.
drinking, and
Sure.
it's just a hangout. And it's a danger to the neighborhood.
It is. We don't. This is a systemic problem, and Amarillo's progressive in trying to find ways to accommodate these homeless. So there are programs, there's locations available to these people that they can go get out of the heat, get out of the cold during the winter, have a place to stay. We just don't want them staying in a situation that's dangerous for them and dangerous for our firefighters.
That's it. A big problem that's happening in our community right now. Last year, over 20 of these fires in 2018. This year, the hot months, April up until now in August, we've had about 11 of these happen in our community. The word is be vigilant. If you see something, say something. Call the police department. Call these guys at the Amarillo Fire Department. We don't want this to turn into a tragedy, not only for our firefighters, but also for the citizens of our city and the surrounding neighborhood. So if you see people in and out of a building, or you own an abandoned building, you have to be vigilant. You have to board up that structure, check on it once, twice a week. Get the neighborhood involved, like Jeff said, and have a neighborhood watch. If you see people coming in and out of a structure like this, let someone know, and you could save a life. Guys, thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
Be careful
Yes,
out
sir.
there.
Thank you very much.
Do what you can to make their job a whole lot easier.